Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I don't think you're prepared for this. I was not prepared for this. But just bear with me cuz it's a little bit of a train wreck. It's okay. It's going to be shocking at first, but it's fine. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't like dye my hair or anything. It's okay. But just bear with me. So, I got surgery on my eye today. I was not expecting to have to wear an eye patch for stream today. So essentially, this is what happened. I've had a bump on my eye for about 6 weeks. And I mean, I've talked about it a little bit every now and then, but it's just I've had something on my eye and I've gone to three different eye doctors about it. And they've just been giving me drugs and been like, it'll go away. And it hasn't gone away. So I went into a new one today, and he's an eye surgeon. And he was like, look, we're just going to operate on it, which is what I've been asking all of these eye doctors to do. But it was very dramatic, and it was more dramatic than anything I was expecting. So essentially, this is what happened. So I go into the eye doctor, right? And he's just like, yeah, it's not what any of these other doctors have said, which is what I have been saying. I knew it wasn't a sty. I know what a sty looks like because I've had like 8 of them since I've been in Korea. I know, punk. It's so bad. But no, so I've had like 8 styes since I've been in Korea, and this did not look like a sty at all. It looked a little bit different, and it had been lingering for a longer period of time, and the medication wasn't helping. So I went to this new one, and I was like, "Look, can you please just like cut it open and fix it?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's something different. So yeah, I know what to do." And so they like took me into this operation room, and they handed me so like I had to put on like shoe booties and like put my hair in a thing. It made me wash my face. They were like, no sunscreen. And I was like, oh, okay. No sunscreen, I guess. We're gonna get a sunburn today. Because I'm super pale. So like if I don't wear sunscreen, I'm done. I'm like done for. Um, so I had to like wash my face and put on new moisturizer and everything. And then I get to the operating table, and guess what? They're like, okay, lay down. So I lay down. And then they give me a teddy bear. And I was like, and in Korean, I said, 아팠을 거예요? Which means, is it gonna hurt? And she was like, it's gonna hurt a little bit. And I was like, no, it's gonna hurt a lot if you just gave me a teddy bear on the operating table. And so they like cover me with a blanket, and I'm just like clenching onto this teddy bear for dear life because I like the anticipation was honestly the worst part because I'm just like sitting there waiting for this doctor to come, and it took the doctor like 5 minutes to even get to me, which I mean is pretty good considering everything. Like Korea is very efficient when it comes to getting to the point of, I'm gonna operate on you. But um so like the doctor starts operating. It genuinely felt like he was putting stitches in my eyelid. I was just like, holy crap, this is intense. And there's like blood, there's currently blood like under my eye, but they were like, don't wash your eye. I was like, shit. Well, now I look like I murdered someone. And I have like pen marks over my eye. I don't know. It looks like I got plastic surgery. Anyway, so I'm like clenching onto this teddy bear. One of the like doctor's assistants is like holding onto my hands because she can feel that I'm like really sad and really upset. But the worst part of the whole thing, this is like horror movie level. So I'm laying there, I'm laying under this like really bright light. And then he's like, open your eyes. And I'm able to open my left eye, but I'm not able to open my right eye. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is the end. I'm not going to be able to open my eye ever again. And it was like a super dramatic feeling of just, this is what happens. This is what happens if I try to, if I want nice things, if I want my eye to look normal, I have to suffer through this, and I'm never going to get to see out of my right eye again. He might as well have just taken my eye out, and it doesn't matter. But yeah, and then we did that like 3 times, and I wasn't able to open my eye any of those times. Terrifying. So scary. So scary. So that's what I did. And now I have no depth perception. I only had to wear this for 2 hours, but the thing is, it's really frightening to look at my actual eye right now because it's like, it's not super swollen, but it's a little bit swollen. It's got like a lot of bruising on it, but it also, again, I have like a blood tear underneath my eye. Like, it's less attractive than having like a teardrop tattoo. So I didn't want to show it because I didn't want people to get freaked out if there was blood or things like that. Okay. No. No. Also, why does with get the eye, Lorenzo? Like, come on. I know, punk. I know, but at least like it's made in a very, like, it looks clean. This does not look clean. I don't have any street cred when it comes to having like a blood tear. I don't know. Maybe there are levels. I don't know. I don't have any face tattoos, but that's what I did today. And then afterward, I went to McDonald's with a friend of mine, and then I was trying to dip the chicken nuggets, but I didn't have any depth perception, so I kept dipping it in the wrong space. So I kept missing the sauce, because otherwise I would have to like physically lift it up to my face and dip it like this, because if it was like down, I can't physically just like do this. It was, yeah. Because I already have really bad depth perception without an eye patch. So with one, it's been a day. And I've only had it for like 6.5 hours, 7 hours. It's all right. Well, no, not 7 hours, because I got it at 2 o'clock today, and it's only 7:30. Wow. Amazing. Okay. Also, I was gonna like give a little shout out to myself. I was gonna give some self love out to myself. So, I mean, I know you probably noticed that I have a new mic. I was rewatching some videos. I feel really awkward whenever I watch any of the streams that I did, just because I feel awkward about watching myself doing things. It's a really big hurdle to get over, watching yourself do something and going back, because it makes you cringe a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But I was watching videos from now and then watching videos from when I wasn't using this mic. This mic sounds good. I am pretty hyped. Like, sometimes it blows out a little bit. I won't lie. The sound was a little bit too loud before, and I realized that like it was blowing out a little bit. But now, like, it's so much clearer. You can hear things better. Whereas before it was a little bit muffled. And I just want to say, wow, girl with experience, kicking ass. I know, so I'm pretty hyped about it. That makes me pretty excited. So yeah, exciting things. You know, like, the stream keeps getting better, and it makes me excited. You know, seeing new people come and seeing new things happening and all is so exciting. I know the sound quality is so much better. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, because I was listening to the sound quality from before and I was like, man, that's rough. But this is actually like really great. It sounds so clear. So I'm really happy about it. I'm really glad that it sounds so good. So, okay. Today, Taming of the Shrew is what we're gonna do. I've been looking forward to this since yesterday. It's funny because yesterday I got home and I was like, I'm so excited to read Shakespeare. And then I was like, wait, I don't get to read Shakespeare today. I was a little bit disappointed because this is something that I really look forward to. And the reason I don't stream on Wednesdays is because I get home late from work. And I was like, dang it, I really want to stream, but I don't get a stream, but it's okay. Oh, Lorenzo, stop. Whatever. Okay, so this is what has happened. This act is honestly pretty short. I didn't read the whole thing because I didn't think that we would be able to adequately cover the whole thing. Otherwise, I woulda. Of course. I don't know. I like breaking up the acts into two parts because I think it times it really well. Even though we're kind of like at an off point right now because we're doing like half of an act and then having a Wednesday and then another half of an act on a Friday and then like another thing and then yeah. So okay. So this is what's happening. What is my eye? It's an eye. Thank you, Ace. Thank you for asking. So what we're doing. We're at Baptista's house. We are inside of it. Okay, we're not outside of it anymore. We have penetrated the Baptista walls. I'm winking. Fuck. Damn it! I tried to wink and then I realized I can't because I said a word. Oh God. Okay. So you'll just have to understand my implication. I'll blink really hard with the other one, and then you'll get it. I'm deceased. Okay, so Bianca and Katerina are having like a fight at the moment, and Bianca's just like, I don't understand why you hate me so much. Katerina's just like, I don't like you because like all of these men are chasing you. I don't understand why everybody likes you so much. I don't understand why you're our dad's favorite, blah, 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 blah. And Bianca's essentially just like, don't be a hater. Just take some of these guys because honestly, I don't like any of these guys. And Katerina's like, but I don't want them either. I love it. Katerina's just being a hater, but at the same time, I don't know. It seems like a baseless way to be upset. But I understand her feeling of not being her dad's favorite. So Katerina's just like, Baptista, I'm not your favorite. And Baptista's like, go to your room. Stop torturing your sister. He doesn't answer her. He's not like, no, that's not true. He's just like deflects. Okay, and then all of the dudes come up. They like roll up and they're like, hey, Baptista. And Baptista's like, hey, boys, what's up? So we got, Lucentio, Petruchio, Hortensio, Tranio, Biondello, Gremio. And like everyone is undercover except for Gremio and Petruchio. Petruchio being the one who's going to be like, yo, what's up, Katerina? You are smoking hot. Okay, that's his job. Gremio's just like, I'm rich enough to woo your daughter. Lucentio and Hortensio are both disguised as tutors. They are both trying to woo Bianca. And then Tranio is dressed up as Lucentio. So they roll up. Petruchio's like, yo, what's up? Where's Katerina? Like, is she in the bag yet? Can I have her, please? One Katerina. I'm leaving soon, so da. And Baptista's just like, oh, you want Katerina? Well, I don't know if you. And Petruchio's like, no, I do. I do believe in fairies. I do. Give me Katerina. And he's just like, I'll let you try. There's gonna be like a Pokemon gym battle. Okay, Petruchio the proud versus Katerina the difficult. Okay, And then, what is it? Okay, so while Petruchio and Baptista are talking about this, so, what's his name? Hortensio, who's undercover as a music tutor, goes to tutor Caterina. He comes back like 5 minutes later with a lute around his neck that she smashed over his head, and he's just like, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work. Can I tutor Bianca?" And Baptista's like, "Yes." That's basically like the whole thing. But Lucentio is already like the main tutor of Bianca. He's teaching her like the stuff. Like basically I think it's literature and poetry and stuff like that. So yeah, and then Petruchio's just like, I got this. Go get Caterina. I'm gonna marry her. Okay, so Caterina comes in, and so Petruchio just had like a whole monologue, and he was like, I don't care how ugly she is, how difficult she is, how horrible she is. I'm gonna tame her. She's the shrew. If you didn't realize, she's the shrew, by the way. So Caterina comes in. This is her sashaying. And she probably doesn't sashay. She doesn't seem very ladylike, I'm not gonna lie. So she comes in, and then Petruchio stops his monologue and says, "Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear." And Caterina says, "Well, have you heard, but something hard of hearing? They call me Catherine, that do talk of me." So Caterina's just like, okay, sure. People who actually know me call me Catherine, but whatever. Petruchio says, "You lie, in faith, for you are called plain Kate, in bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the cursed, but Kate the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kate, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation, hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of, and thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife." So Petruchio says Kate a million times. Take a shot for every time Petruchio says Kate in this little thing. Okay. So he's just like, they call you plain Kate. They call you bonny Kate. They call you cursed Kate. It's actually Kate the cursed. Okay. She's got a curse. But yeah, she's the shrew, Lorenzo. Yes. That is who we're taming in this play. Okay. Kate in Christendom. Super dainty Kate. Kate of my consolation. I love it. I love it. So he's just like calling Kate all of these things. He's like, these are the things that I've heard, but this is what you're going to be to me. Kate in Christendom, Kate of my consolation, right? He's calling her all these things, and he's just like, this is what you are to me. You are my prize. You are lovely and beautiful and wonderful, and I will see you that way. Okay? Welcome to Chat Lost. And Caterina says, "Moved. In good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first, you were removable." So Caterina's just like, "Oh, you're moved. Huh, all right." Right. 16th century Riz. For real. Except let's be honest, Petruchio has no Riz, because if he had Riz, he would already be married to a wealthy woman who wasn't so bad. You know what I mean? Petruchio would have been able to seduce a wealthy woman that he actually liked if he had any Riz. Oh, for real. You know this is true. I feel like Petruchio is like the bottom. He's like, I'm gonna scrape up the bottom of the barrel because that's all I can get. Ah! If he had any Riz, he wouldn't have to go into Baptista's house and be like, "Where is she? Where is she?" Who are you, Batman? God, even Bruce Wayne can do better than you. Yeah, at least he has a situationship with Catwoman. He can hold a woman better than Petruchio. He's getting demolished. I'm sorry, I shouldn't demolish Petruchio so much. I really like him as a character, but still, that's so funny. No Riz. He has no Riz. Okay. So, I'm wheezing. That's awesome. Okay. So, yeah, Katerina's just like, oh, you're so moved? Okay. Then let it move you all the way to outside of my house, please, because I'm tired of seeing you. Like, can you just leave, please? I thought you were able to move yourself. And then Petruchio says, why, what's a movable? And Katerina says, a joint stool. And Petruchio says, thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me. Petruchio, no, so bad. Oh my god, I'm dead. He's so bad. He's just like, yeah, come sit on me. Come sit on me, baby girl. What's up? Why is he so stupid? Oh my god. Okay, if you are ever trying to pick up a woman, do not use the words of Petruchio. He will not help you. Okay? Okay. So, Katerina says, asses are made to bear, and so are you. And Petruchio said, women are made to bear, and so are you. So, Katerina is calling him an ass, and he's calling her a woman, and he's equating asses to women. Katerina says, no such jade as you, if me you mean. Petruchio, alas, good Kate, I would not burthen thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light. Okay, so essentially, Katerina's like, don't equate me with you. Petruchio's like, oh, I would never, because you're just such a young and light and delicate woman. I would never. Katerina says, too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be. And Petruchio said, should be. Such buzz. So Katerina's like, don't underestimate how massive I am, okay? I'm as heavy as I am heavy, okay? Don't call me delicate. And Katerina says, well ta'en, and like a buzzard. Petruchio, oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee? Katerina, I for a turtle, as he takes a buzzard. Okay, I'm interested to see what the footnote is for that, because I don't know what it would be. Okay, so Petruchio's buzz is the sound of the bee, which he punningly elicits from bee and buzz, was also an exclamation of impatience. Her reply means well caught, though by chance rather than skill, as by a buzzard, which cannot be trained for falconry. Petruchio then asks, O slowly moving turtle dove, symbol of faithful love, will this buzzard, Petruchio, capture you? Her obscure retort means perhaps that she should be recognized only as a dove for a predatory kind which can swallow a cockchafer, or some similar buzzing insect, this being another meaning of buzzard. In other words, he won't capture her, but she will defeat him. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, because I knew she was saying that he is not going to capture her, like he is not going to be able to woo her, but I didn't catch up on the subtlety of the idea of her defeating him. Okay, so yeah, essentially they're like using this little wordplay, whatever, to essentially say like Petruchio's like, well, am I going to win you over? And Katerina's like, no, I am unamused. And then Petruchio says, come, you wasp, faith, if you are too angry. And Katerina says, if I be waspish, best beware my sting. Damn, she's good. I like that. If I be waspish, best beware my sting. Yes. I like that a lot. A lot. Already I have 3 things like in brackets from this because the quotes are so good. This play is very quotable, unlike some of the other ones where I'm just like, all right, like they'll say something that's a little bit noteworthy, but like some of these things that they say in here are like really attention grabbers. So Petruchio says, my remedy is then to pluck it out. Caterina, aye, if the fool could find it where it lies. So Petruchio's just like, sting me then. I'll pluck out where the sting happens. And Caterina's like, yeah, if you can find it. If you can find where the sting is. Petruchio says, who knows not where a wasp doth wear his sting? In his tail. Caterina, in his tongue. Petruchio, whose tongue? Caterina, yours if you talk of tails, and so farewell. So Petruchio's like, I know where the stinger on a wasp is. It's in his tail. And Caterina's like, I'm going to sting you on the tongue if you don't fucking shut up. Go! And then she turns to leave, but then he says, what, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again. So he then goes up behind her. So he seizes her in his arms. So I'm guessing like he's giving her like a back hug or something, or like is grabbing her. So essentially he's making like a, I don't know if I can say this word. So essentially Petruchio's like, well, what if I have my tongue on your tail? If you understand what I'm saying, wink, you understand what I'm saying, okay? He's making a sexual reference. And then he says, good Kate, I am a gentleman. And then she turns around and slaps him on the face and says, that I'll try. She strikes him. Yes, you do it. Man, she's a killer. I like her. Yes. Yeah, I know. I need to put that on the list. I'm gonna bracket it only because I need to put it on the what's it called? The scroll. We haven't had a lot of scroll content lately. I feel like this is gonna give me a lot of scroll content. Because we got a lot of not cross dressing. We have a lot of role playing. We have this. We have the forbidden quote that I shall not mention, because if I do, it's extremely out of context for anyone who is not here. The quote that shall not be named. The Voldemort quote. Yes. The one regarding. Yes. Okay. So Petruchio says, I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again. Caterina, so may you lose your arms if you strike me. You are no gentleman. And if no gentleman, why then no arms. So Petruchio is just like, if you hit me again, I am going to do something. And Caterina's like, yeah, if you do something, then you are not a gentleman. And if you are not a gentleman, why, then I'm gonna also do something. And Petruchio's like, a herald, Kate? Oh, put me in thy books. And Caterina says, what is your crest, a coxcomb? So Caterina's now questioning his background because of the way he's acting. So she's just like, oh, what is your crest? Like, where do you come from? What's, like, are you really the only thing that my father could find? Are you really this low on the chain? That, like, is my father so desperate that he's pulling from this far down? And then Petruchio says, a combless cock. So Kate will be my head. Caterina, no cock of mine, you crow too like a craven. Petruchio, nay, come, Kate, come. You must not look so sour. Caterina, it is my fashion when I see a crab. Petruchio, why, here's no crab, and therefore look not sour. I love how we're making all of these, like, animal references. Caterina's like, you're a buzzard, you're a crab, you're a cock. Like, what? She's killing it. Right, you're a how now, brown cow. Yes, Lorenzo, so good. So good. Okay. So yeah, Petruchio says, "Why, here's no crab, and therefore look not sour." Caterina, "There is. There is." Petruchio, "Then show it me." Caterina, "Had I a glass, I would." Petruchio, "What? You mean my face?" Caterina, "Well aimed, such a young one." So Petruchio's just like, look, I'm not I'm not that bad. And Katerina's, look, I will show you how bad you are, but I don't have, I don't have a mirror to show you. I don't have a mirror to show you. And Katerina's like, wow, look, someone's clever. You figured it out. Glad you understand what I'm saying by now. And Petruchio, because he's like, oh, you mean me? And she's like, yeah, idiot. I've been saying this the whole time. And then Petruchio says, now by St. George, I am too young for you. Caterina, yet you are withered. Petruchio, 'tis with cares. Caterina, I care not. Petruchio, nay, hear you, Kate. In sooth, you scape not so. Caterina, I chafe you if I tarry. Let me go. Oh, so he's still holding on to her, even though she slapped him. So she's struggling in his arms. How romantic! I love it! How non-consensual! Thank you, Shakespeare. That's how you fall in love, folks. Not actually, please do not. Please do not take that out of context. That is not true. Do not, do not, do not, do not, do not hold somebody that you like in your arms against their will. They do not want it. It is not consensual. Do not do things that are not consensual. Please be good to the people you care about. Okay. So she's struggling in his arms. And Petruchio says, no, not a whit. I find you passing gentle. 'Twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, and now I find report a very liar, for thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous, but slow in speech, yet sweet as springtime flowers. Thou canst not frown, thou canst not look askance, nor bite the lip as angry wenches will, nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in talk, but thou with mildness entertainest thy wooers with gentle conference, soft and affable. And then he lets her go. So he's essentially just like, you're gentler than I was expecting. He's like, honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because I was told you were rough and you were really bad with people and that you were going to be really upsetting to be around. But honestly, you have been pretty pleasant and tame, and I am very disappointed. And then he lets her go and says, why does the world report that Kate doth limp? O slanderous world! Kate, like the hazel twig, is straight and slender, and as brown in hue as hazelnuts, and sweeter than the kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk. Thou dost not halt. Okay, so essentially he's just like, I don't understand why the world talks about you so slanderously when you're so pleasant to be around. You know what? Walk away if you really want to. I'll watch you leave. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch her leave. I don't know the saying, okay? Okay, so Katerina says, go, fool, in whom thou keepest command. So Katerina's like, you know what? I'm not gonna go. You're gonna go. Petruchio said, did ever Diane so become a grove, as Kate with chamber in her princely gate? Oh, be thou Diane, and let her be Kate, and then let Kate be chaste and Diane sportful. Caterina, where did you study all this goodly speech? Petruchio, it is extempore, for my mother wit. I know, he is really, he's really negging the heck out of her. Caterina, a witty mother, witless else her son. Petruchio, am I not wise? So Caterina's just like, where did you learn all of this crap? Like, I don't understand where you learned how to like flatter a woman. Like, it's really not working on me, but like, who taught you this so poorly? And he's like, my mom taught me. And she's like, you know what? Good for her. Clearly she had a lot of manners, whatever, but clearly you do not. Like, she should be disappointed in you. Um So yeah, he says, am I not wise? And Caterina says, yes, keep you warm. Petruchio, marry, so I mean, sweet Catherine, in my bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus, in plain terms, your father hath consented that you shall be my wife, your dowry agreed on. And will you, I will marry you. Now, Kate, I am a husband for your turn, for by this light whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well. Thou must be married to no man but me, for I am he, am born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate comfortable as other household Kates. Damn! So he's just like, look, your dad already agreed. You and I are gonna get married. Okay? Get with the program. Too bad. You don't want to marry me? Too bad. You're gonna marry me. And then Baptista, Gremio, and Tranio come in. Well, while he's saying, like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like it's really not endearing. I was thinking it was a little bit endearing, but at the same time, it's really not, because Petruchio's just like, look, I'm gonna make you happy, and I'm gonna make you tame, and I am going to make you into somebody that's gonna be happy living this normal, very what is it? I don't remember the word. I've been thinking about this. It's just very normal life. I'm gonna think of the word later. It's fine. You're gonna live this very normal life with me. Yes, very conventional. It's not conventional that I was thinking of, but yes, it means conventional. You're gonna live this very conventional life with me that you are gonna like with me. Your dowry's been discussed. We're getting married. Do you understand? So yeah, and then Baptista and Gremio and Tranio enter. And Tranio is dressed as Lucentio. And then Petruchio is just like, here comes your father. Never make denial. I must and will have Catherine to my wife. Baptista says, now, Signor Petruchio, how speed you with my daughter? And Petruchio says, how but well, sir, how but well. It were impossible I should speed amiss. Baptista turns to Caterina. Says, why, how now, brown cow, daughter Catherine? In your dumps? And Caterina says, call me your daughter? Now I promise you have showed a tender fatherly regard to wish me wed to one half lunatic, a madcap ruffian, and a swearing jack that thinks with oaths to face the matter out. So Caterina's just like, I can't believe you are my father. You call yourself my father, and yet you are making me marry this man that's like an idiot. Like, this dude is freaking stupid. This is who you're making me marry right now? I can't believe it. She's just like, I can't believe it. Can't believe you. Petruchio says, father. No, he's already calling him father. Seriously? Father, 'tis thus, yourself and all the world that talked of her have talked amiss of her. If she be cursed, it is for policy. If she not forward, but modest as the dove. She is not hot, but temperate as the morn. For patience she will prove a second gristle, and Roman Lucrece of her chastity. And to conclude, we have agreed so well together that upon Sunday is the wedding day. So Petruchio's just like, she really is so pleasant to be around, And we have agreed that we will get married on Sunday. It's going to be so great. And Caterina says, I'll see thee hanged on Sunday first. And Gremio says, hark, Petruchio. She says she'll see thee hanged first. And Tranio says, is this your speeding? Nay, then, good night, our part. And Petruchio says, be patient, gentlemen. I choose her for myself. If she and I be pleased, what's that to you? 'Tis bargain twixt us twain, being alone, that she shall still be cursed in company, I tell you. This incredible to believe how much she loves me. Oh, the kindest Kate! She hung about my neck, and kiss on kiss she vied so fast, protesting oath on oath, that in a twink she won me to her love. Oh, you are novices. 'Tis a world to see. How tame when men and women are alone, a meacock. wretch, a meacock wretch can make the cursedest shrew. Give me thy hand, Kate. I will unto Venice to buy apparel against the wedding day. Provide the feast, father, and bid the guests. I will be sure my Catherine shall be fine. I don't know what to do. I feel upset. I feel upset because it's just like this man who's saying all these things and no one is listening to Kate. It's just Kate who's just like, hey, by the way, and her father's just like, oh, I didn't hear you. We're speeding off to your wedding. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Ha, it's felt like it. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. So Baptista says, I know not what to say, but give me your hands. God send you joy, Petruchio. 'Tis a match. Because Petruchio said, oh, thank you for the follow, A7. I appreciate it. I am well. Welcome to chat. Okay. So, essentially, I did fight a guy, Lorenzo. Oh man, so much cooler in the streets. I should have worn sunglasses. That would have looked so much cooler. Damn it. Next time I'll wear sunglasses. Okay. Good damn. Didn't even take 10 rounds. Mike Tyson was KO'd in the 7th. Okay. So essentially Petruchio was like, Kate acts differently when we're in private. Okay. So it sound like essentially he's just like, look, you know, we're acting like really lovey-dovey in the back, like whenever you guys aren't here, but when you are here, she gets like all hard and whatever, blah blah blah. So Baptista's like, okay, that's great, awesome, I'm so glad. So then Gremio and Tranio say amen, we say we, oh yeah, amen, say we will be witnesses. Both of them say it. In, what is it? In unison. Because they're like ending the blessing. So then Petruchio says, Father and wife and gentlemen, adieu. I will to Venice, Sunday comes apace. We will have rings and things in fine array, and kiss me, Kate will be married on Sunday. Lots of rhyming. Rings and things in fine array on Sunday. Amazing. So yeah, Petruchio and Katerina exunt. Woo! Yeah, it's not Sunday, but they're gonna get married on Sunday. Not this Sunday, probably, but like on a Sunday. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I'm not gonna look ahead. It is fun to rhyme all the time. I agree. Okay, so they exit, and then Gremio's just like, was ever match clapped up so suddenly? Baptista. Faith, gentlemen, now I play a merchant's part and venture madly on a desperate mart. So Baptista's like, I don't care if they're actually compatible. I'm just gonna go with it because at least Petruchio is taking, he's taking the reins and he's making her do it. And you know what? As soon as I can get her out of the house, whatever. And Tranio is like, 'twas a commodity lay fretting by you, 'twill bring you gain or perish on the seas. Baptista. This gain I seek is quiet in the match. Gremio. No doubt, but he hath got a quiet catch. But now, Baptista, to your younger daughter, now is the day we long have looked for. I am your neighbor. I am your neighbor. And was suitor first. So Gremio's just like, yeah, but like, what about Bianca? Can she's mine, right? Because I started to suit her first, right? And Tranio says, and I am one that love Bianca more than words can witness, or your thoughts can guess. And Gremio says, youngling, thou canst have so dear as I. So Gremio's getting a little bit competitive, and Tranio says, Greybeard, thy love doth freeze. Gremio, but thine doth fry, skipper, stand back, 'tis age that nourisheth. Gremio must be like really old. Like really old. Because he's got gray hair. So he's just like, look, I've been waiting for Bianca since you was born. Back off, idiot. And Tranio's like, I know, but I love her. And I want her. And Baptista, and then Tranio says, but youth and ladies' eyes that flourisheth. And Baptista says, content you, gentlemen. I will compound thy strife. 'Tis deeds must win the prize, and he of both that can assure my daughter greatest dower shall have my Bianca's love. Say, Signor Gremio, what can you assure her? So Baptista's like, who's got the best dowry? Who's got the most money? I want her to have a lot. Please provide for my daughter. And Gremio says, first, as you know, my house within the city is richly furnished with plate and gold, basins and ewers have to lave her dainty hands. My hangings all of Tyrian tapestry. In ivory coffers I have stuffed my crowns, and in cypress chests my arras counterpoints. Costly apparel, tents and canopies, fine linen, turkey cushions, bossed with pearl, valins of Venice gold and needlework, pewter and brass, and all things that belongs to house of housekeeping. Then, at my farm, I have a 600 milch kine to the pail, 60 fat oxen standling in my stalls, and all things answerable to this portion. Myself am struck in years, I must confess, and if I die tomorrow, this is hers. If whilst I live, she will be only mine. Okay, so essentially Gremio's just like, let me flex about what I got real quick. Here we go. And Tranio says, that only came well in. Okay. So Tranio's, so peaceful. You have to realize that he has to flex, right? Because he is trying to show to Baptista that his daughter will be provided for. And that he will give her the most. So Tranio's just like, ooh, I see that you put that only in there where she will be only yours. Sir, list to me. I am my father's heir and only son. If I may have your daughter to my wife, I'll leave her house as 3 or 4 is good, within rich Pisa walls as any one old Signor Gremio has in Padua, besides 2,000 ducats by the year, or fruitful land, which shall be her jointer. What, have I pinched you, Signor Gremio? And then Gremio says, 2,000 ducats by the year of land? And then he goes to the side and says, my land amounts not so much in all. And then he says, that she shall have, besides an argosy that now is lying in Marcellus's road. What, have I choked you with an argosy? So Gremio's just like, oh shit, I don't have that much. Oops. Loto, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, Gremio's just like, oh man, I don't. Do you know the Muffin Man? No. So yeah, Gremio's just. He's like, oh god. I don't know if I can provide that for her. But he lies, and he says that he's going to be able to provide that. And then Tranio says, Gremio, 'tis known my father hath no less than three great argosies, besides 2 galleasses and 12 tight galleys. These I will assure her, and twice as much whatever thou offerest next. Gremio says, nay, I have offered all. I have no more. And she can have no more than all I have. If you like me, she shall have me in mine. So Gremio's just like, Tranio, you have beaten me. I cannot beat you. I want to have her, and if she cares about me enough, then maybe what I can provide is enough for her. And Tranio says, why? Then the maid is mine from all the world. By your firm promise, Gremio is outvied. And Baptista says, I must confess your offer is the best, and let your father make her the assurance she is your own. Else, you must pardon me if you should die before him. Where's her dower? And Tranio says, that's but a cavil. He is old, I young. And Gremio says, and may not young men die as well as old? And Baptista says, well, gentlemen, I am thus resolved. On Sunday next, you know, my daughter Catherine is to be married. And then he turned, so Baptista's just like, okay. He's just like, and what happens if you die? Are you going to give her everything? Like, are you going to make sure she's provided for even if you die? And Tranio's just like, I know. Well, like, that doesn't matter because I'm young right now. Like, this dude is about to die. He's literally on his deathbed right now. Okay? And Baptista's like, yeah, but young guys die too. So, like, I need to make sure that my daughter is going to be provided for. Oh no, Gremio says, yeah, but young guys die too, as well as old. He's just like, I also know. So Baptista says, he's like, okay, Catherine's getting married, and then he turns to Tranio and says, now on the Sunday following shall Bianca be bride to you if you make this assurance. If not, to Signor Gremio. And so I take my leave and thank you both. And then he exits. Okay. I know, Lorenzo, I'm not worried. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't stress. I'm not stressed. Okay. So essentially, Baptista is just like, look, you know, the week after Katerina gets married, you will get married to her, Tranio. Okay? So make sure you are able to answer this question. If you are going to be able to give her all of your money and everything that you are able to, everything that you have to her, then we're good, and then you're going to be able to marry her. Otherwise, I don't know if I can give that to you. And Gremio says, adieu, good neighbor. Now I fear thee not, sirrah young gamester. Your father were a fool to give thee all, and in his waning age set foot under thy table. Tut, a toy. An old Italian fox is not so kind, my boy. So Gremio is just like, all right, well, thank you. Okay, so yeah, Gremio is just like, wow, your father's a real idiot for letting you keep everything. So be sure that you're wise about it. And Tranio says, a vengeance on your crafty withered hide. Yet I have faced it with a card of 10. 'Tis in my head to do my master good. I see no reason but supposed Lucentio must get a father called supposed Vincentio. And that's a wonder. Fathers commonly do get their children, but in this case of wooing, a child shall get a sire if I fail not of my cunning. Okay. So that's the end of Act 2. So, essentially, Tranio's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. So, it's not, I, welcome to Chat Wizard. It's not Derek, and I'm not dating Derek. and I are not dating. I don't know how many times I have to say I'm not dating Dominic. I haven't even seen him since university. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Lorenzo. Thanks for starting chat drama, Lorenzo. God. Okay. Anyway, so I'm interested to see the wedding. I think that'll be interesting. I'm interested to see if Petruchio can actually, like, I know, right, Punk? I thought Derek was dead. Well, dead in the chat, not actually dead. Watch out, Derek. But, no, so I'm interested to see how the wedding goes. I'm interested to see if Petruchio can actually woo Katerina. Because I think they have somewhat similar personalities in the sense that they're both very difficult and both very stubborn. So that's what's going on in my mind at the moment. So I'm not 100% sure what's happening there. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's happening. So thank you for coming to stream. I hope you had a good time. If you did, I fixed the Discord link. The Discord link was broken. So if you want to join the Discord, feel free. It's totally fine. Check out the YouTube channel if you want to catch up on streams. It's working now. It's working now. I fixed it. It should be working. If it's not, I can fix it again. Or try to. And then yeah, thoughts and prayers for Derek. Oh no. And then yeah, if you are new to stream, feel free to follow. If not, that's totally fine. All of these things are optional. If you had a good time, just like come back if you'd like. I will be streaming again tomorrow at the same time. Oh, thank you for the follow, Decaf. I really appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. We will get started on Act 3. And yeah, have a good day, or a good afternoon, or a good night. And this is a good bye.